Canadian government announced Monday that it will impose a 100% tariff on imports of Chinese-made electric vehicles, a decision that mirrors the recent US tariffs imposed on similar goods. The decision, officially announced by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, follows discussions with US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
See, because of our government's choices and the hard work of hundreds of thousands of Canadian auto workers, we are transforming Canada's automotive sector to be a global leader in building the vehicles of tomorrow. But actors like China have chosen to give themselves an unfair advantage in the global marketplace, compromising the security of our critical industries and displacing dedicated Canadian autos and metal workers. So we're taking action to address that. We actually spent some time talking about that and many other geopolitical issues last night with Jake Sullivan, the US National Security Advisor.
The new tariffs aren't limited to electric vehicles alone. In a parallel move, Trudeau also announced a 25% tariff on imports of Chinese steel and aluminum. These industries have been central to global trade disputes, with Western nations accusing China of flooding the market with cheap, subsidized products that undercut domestic industries.
So today, we're taking yet another step to ensure that Canada is the country of choice to make the things that'll drive the new 21st century green economy. We're listening to automakers, we're listening to workers. Shortly, we will be introducing a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles and a 25% tariff on Chinese steel and aluminum.
The implications of these tariffs are significant, particularly for companies like Tesla, which currently imports Chinese-made EVs into Canada from its Shanghai factory. While Tesla may seek to avoid the tariffs by switching to its factories in the US or Germany for Canadian supply, the broader impact on the global EV market and on China's ambitions in this sector remains to be seen. Chinese EV manufacturers, who have yet to make a significant mark in the Canadian market, will undoubtedly be watching these developments closely. Responding to Canada's announcement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry denounced the decision. It said the Canadians ignored the World Trade Organization rules.
China urges the Canadian side to respect the objective facts, abide by the WTO rules, immediately correct the wrong practices, and not politicize the economic and trade issues. China will take all necessary measures to firmly safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese enterprises.
Meanwhile, Sullivan, alongside Trudeau, said that in his meeting with the Chinese officials, he will be discussing this issue.
The view that massive subsidies going into the Chinese electric vehicle industry have eliminated a level playing field. And so part of the economic response the U.S. has taken is responding to that. And then there are issues associated with data security, with critical infrastructure, and with the underlying questions of national security associated with connected vehicles, electric vehicles. And so that has also motivated steps that we have taken on policy grounds through presidential action. So I'll be talking about all of that with my Chinese counterparts when I see them in Beijing.
The United States set the stage for this escalation in May, when President Joe Biden imposed sweeping tariffs on a range of Chinese products. Canada's decision to align with the US on this issue signals a broader shift in the international trade landscape. The European Commission has also indicated its intention to impose similar tariffs on Chinese goods, suggesting that Western powers are moving towards a more coordinated approach in their economic relations with China. But for Canada, the stakes are high, as the country has long sought to balance its economic ties with China against its strategic alliance with the United States.